Welcome to Pasadena Lodge number 272 in Pasadena, California, one of 340 lodges operating in the state. I'm Peter Jessup. I'm a Master Mason in California, and I'm going to take you through a brief history of our fraternity in the Golden State. California has long been a destination for those wishing to enjoy open and diverse spaces. From the majestic Sierras to the foaming seas, the Golden West brought the promise of liberty, where men and women could pursue new lives. It was at a critical moment in American expansion when Freemasons arrived in California. From their efforts in industry, education, and entertainment, California quickly became a beacon of light for the whole world. This age bore men who shared in a desire to further the dream of a great nation and to enjoy riches wrought from their own ingenuity. Pioneers, innovators, educators, artists, and entertainers. In 1846, the United States fought Mexico to free California from Mexican rule, largely at the behest of explorer Masons such as General John C. Fremont and Kit Carson, as well as the Brethren in Sonoma County. Thus began the Bear Flag Revolt, 25 days in which California was its own free republic. That same year, soldiers took possession of California at Monterey and raised the American flag. During this period, from 1846 through the Gold Rush, the Americans began flooding the California terrain. Masons such as the Danish immigrant and explorer Peter Lassen, along with Satchel Woods, the first junior Grand Warden of California, founded the oldest working lodge in California, Western Star No. 2 in Shasta City. Masons gathered in burgeoning metropolitan centers to form the first lodges in the state. The Grand Lodge of California was first convened in a small attic-like room on the top floor of the Red House in Sacramento. From there, all lodges chartered in the state began their labors under the jurisdiction of the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of California. Constituted in 1850, the same year that California was accepted into the Union. The Gold Rush, agriculture, fishing, oil, and the railroad brought unprecedented wealth to California and marked the state as a place where an innovative man could find fortune, remake his life, and lead others. Among those, John Geary, a member of California Lodge No. 1, the last alcalde under the Mexican system in San Francisco, and the first mayor of that city in 1849. John Sweat, a member of Oriental Lodge No. 144 in San Francisco, was a dedicated educator who worked tirelessly for tax-supported schools that would be open to every child in the state. In 1863, he became State Superintendent of Public Instruction and earned the name of Father of California's public school system. Leland Stanford, Union Pacific Railroad President, 8th Governor of California, United States Senator, and founder of the world-renowned Stanford University. Thomas Starr King, Minister for the First Unitarian Church in San Francisco and Grand Orator for the Grand Lodge of California, saw the immediacy of providing care for wounded soldiers of the Civil War and raised $250,000 for the Sanitary Commission, which later became known as the American Red Cross. Thomas Starr King lobbied endlessly to keep California in the Union when many desired to join the conflict or become an independent republic. Starr King was successful in his efforts and gained the admiration and commendation of President Abraham Lincoln. Monuments, streets, schools, and a mountain in Yosemite National Park still bear the name of this courageous and effective patriot. Earl Warren was Grand Master of Masons in California in 1935. A district attorney of Alameda County, the 20th Attorney General, the state's 30th Governor, and the 14th Chief Justice of the United States. Among his rulings is Brown versus the Board of Education, which challenged the legal status of racial segregation, a landmark event for American civil rights. The Warren Court became recognized for the use of judicial power in the effort to effect social progress, and Warren became widely regarded as one of the most influential Supreme Court justices in the history of the United States. He was also a Republican Party vice presidential nominee in 1948, and chaired the Warren Commission, which was formed to investigate the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The list of well-known California Masons continues throughout the decades, and many have had a profound impact upon the fabric of American life itself. One of the finest demonstrations of Masonic relief was during the San Francisco earthquake and fire of 1906. With nearly 3,000 killed, massive wreckage, and an astonishing 50 major fires that would eventually consume 85% of the city, the destruction of the Paris of the West was a human tragedy. Grand Master Motley Flint arrived in Oakland just across the bay from San Francisco and witnessed the tragedy firsthand. Seeing that funds would need to be raised immediately, Flint secured a loan of $1,000 in gold from Brother Samuel J. Taylor. Most Worshipful Flint also contributed $3,000 from his personal account, and these funds were used to hire wagons to transport the distressed to a Masonic temple for temporary lodging and food. The Masonic Ambulance Corps of California was created in San Francisco in 1917 in order to allow Masons to enter into service through the American Red Cross. Like their pioneering Masonic ancestors, their willingness to put themselves in harm's way inspired Grand Master Kessling to proclaim,
"The Masonic Ambulance Corps, organized through the efforts of local Masons and generously supported throughout the jurisdiction, was, with enthusiasm and ceremony, duly mustered into the United States service, and their boys are on their way to do their part, not as Masons, but as citizens. Godspeed to them all, and to those thousands who have gone into the service without ceremony."
The Masonic homes at Covina and Union City are a great example of California Freemasonry's commitment to providing relief for worthy distressed brothers, their widows, and orphans. Completed in 1898 during the cholera epidemic, the home at Union City was called the Masonic Widows and Orphans Home in the old town of Decoto at a 268-acre site that was selected for its easy access to San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose. At the close of the first year at the Union City campus, 41 Masons, widows, and orphans were admitted. Over the last 110 years, California Masons have given generously to make sure the Union City campus is improved to meet the changing needs of the residents, including a facility built in 2005 to cater to the Alzheimer's and dementia patients who now reside at the home. The Masonic home at Covina originated on land donated by a brother and then moved to the old San Gabriel Hotel in 1905. By 1909, the San Gabriel home became a residence exclusively for children. In 1989, a new complex for the addition of adults to the home in Covina was opened. The Masonic home at Covina now provides care to both children and adults on the same campus. California Freemasons can be proud of the contributions they have given to support these two Masonic homes. They're a lasting tribute to the brethren who have given and continue to give their help and support for the betterment of mankind. The film and entertainment industry exploded in California like a new gold rush, transforming Los Angeles from expansive orchards of fruit trees, oil fields, and farms to the dream factory it has become today. The Los Angeles area exploded in population, and so did the lodges. Freemasonry was the fraternity of choice for several well-known stars, directors, and producers. Red Skelton, Clark Gable, Louis B. Mayer, Cecil B. DeMille, John Wayne, Glenn Ford, Bud Abbott, Danny Thomas, Roy Rogers, W.C. Fields, Telly Savalas, Richard Pryor, Oliver Hardy, Douglas Fairbanks, and Bugs Bunny, or at least his voice, Mel Blanc. For many, their Masonic experience has been kept private, so we may never know how Masonry affected them in their internal lives. Ernest Borgnine, however, has offered his thoughts on the craft when asked in the Pasadena Star-News about his favorite organization. "Anything that's worthwhile and needs it, I go out there and help a little bit. I love to do the charity work for the Masonic organization. I happen to be a Mason, and we do an awful lot of work for dyslexic children. It's a rare privilege when you can get out there and raise money to help those children. It's wonderful to see the end results, and I love it." From her sandy shores to her rolling hills, California Masons abound, endeavoring to grow in wisdom so that they may give back to their communities the precious gift that they receive in the lodge: love, relief, and truth.